Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to discuss about the test data factory. Many times I have seen that people, while writing the test classes, they do not use the test data factory. And when I have spoken to them, and they have, they given the reason that they are not aware about how to write the test data factory. And sometimes, the people have given me the reason that test data factory is difficult to understand, and that's why they are not able to use it in their coding pattern. So I thought to create this test data factory session, and the topics which we'll be covering is the what is the test data factory. We will see it from the scratch. I mean, I will do the coding in front of you, and will understand this test data factory, how to write it in the test data factory. Then once our test data factory class is ready, then what exactly is the way to use it for writing our test classes, and we will the cover one apex class, a trigger, and a batch class during our session. If you require the code of the test data factory, then do let me know. I will be sharing the link in that case in the of the or I will be sharing the code in the description of this video. So let's start with the I mean understanding the test data factory. Now, what is the test data factory? So first of all, let me tell you that the test data factory, if you want to understand, then the take it as a the just a apex class. The when we are writing, there's a test data factory. So when you say it is a normal apex class with a purpose to create data for your test classes. I mean, like in your like you have created your the apex classes, and you are creating the data in the apex classes. That data, when you use any DML statement, that get inserted in your in your Salesforce database in that particular object. So in the test data factory, you are not may going to save your data into the Salesforce, but you will be making the data available for your the test classes which you will be using to cover your the apex class trigger. So this is a simple the apex class. It helps us in rewriting code in each test class for creating data. Like you have seen in your the I mean the test classes, what generally you do, you create the data first as per your requirement, and then what you do, you use that data to cover the test, I mean to cover the apex class or a trigger. So, the each time you are writing the test class, you are creating the data, which is again, you are writing the code. So why don't we do a simple thing where, we can write the, I mean, a class from where you will be just, the fetching the data, or you can say utilizing the data which has been created in that particular class. Nothing else. You need not to, write the code again and again. For example, just for example, there is a test class where you want to create the account object data. So you created the account object data in a test class one. Then in the another test class, you want to perform some logic. For example, you want to, the create the, I mean, there's another apex class, and you want to, the create the, or you want to have some, the account object data. Then again you are writing the same code in a new test class. You're creating the account object data. So alternative, the best solution which I think is, create a test data factory, and in that, the test data factory, create a data of the account object and just utilize it. Just, the where, in whichever and how many, in the test classes you want to, to utilize the data, just utilize it. No worries. So I think this will be, the good way, and this is one of the best practice as well. So we are going to talk about the, the test data factory me, and I will be, the showing you how to create the test data factory. Okay. So in the next, the few minutes, I want you to be very attentive. In the attentive means, because, I'm going to tell you something which is, the helping you, and you need not to, the look behind again for any sort of, the test data factory creation. Trust me. So let's go and let's create our test data factory. So I have, already I have created one batch class. This I will be using, and I will be covering this thing, a sample, the Apex class, and a trigger. Okay. So these three I will be covering during my session today. So I am creating the test data factory, and then I will be working on writing the test classes. But let's create data first. Many times you will also, the listen that, the utility class. So some people says it's a utility class. It's a, the mostly you will get to know from the Java background people. They, they will say the utility class. So this is, I'm going to create my test data factory. So before making it as a test data factory, I mean the data for our test classes. Okay, I'm creating a very simple Apex class to create the data. Then I will change it into the utility class, which will be creating the data for my test classes. Okay. So let's see first the basic Apex class, and then a very small change. Let me tell you what I will be doing, or let me do it here as well. So now if I'm using this annotation at the is test, then it is making the very, the simple Apex class into a test class. Okay. So just to make you understand, I am commenting this. I am creating a Apex class, and you have to, the just see that I am using the same logic, same pattern of code which we use to, insert the data in our Apex classes. In I mean the we used to, the get the create a data and insert the data in our Salesforce as objects. Okay. The only difference will be I will be uncommenting the line number 1. Okay. So I'm creating the account object data. Okay. So same way, public static. Now always remember that you will be, you will be returning whatever data you will be creating in a method, you will be returning that. Okay. Now, the one more thing why I have, the commented this is because I will be showing you the result first of yeah, whether we are able to, the create the test refactory in a correct way. That means we are creating the, the test refactory in a right way or not. Okay, our data is getting generated or not. So this I will be, showing you. So if I'm, the for this I have to, the either utilize it from the test class. Otherwise, the I will be getting one error. That also I will show you. So that's the reason I have, the uncommented the line number 1. But no issues. Let me, the uncomment it, and then I will show you the error. Then I will comment the line number 1, and the I will show you that yes, my test data factory is creating the right data. Okay. So always remember that whatever, the I mean the method you are creating for the data creation of any S object, that should be, the have one return type. Okay. Because whatever data you are inserting, it should be, the available in some other, the class, in some other the uh, I mean in the test class. So for that we use the return, we use, the we return the data. Correct. Now how many account we want to create? So I am giving this parameter, that integer type of the, the parameter, and I will be, passing the number. So let's see now, because I will be creating the more than one account. So I am using list to store it. Okay. Then a loop. Okay. Now for every new account creation, we will be creating the instance first, and then we will be creating the account. So all the required fields are you have to the put here. I will explain you what I'm doing. Then add this account into list. Now let's see. Okay. See, so in the very first method I am using, I mean I'm creating, that is for to create the data for our S object account. And this the if the pattern of creating the account data is correct, then I will be using it into n number of test classes. I will be just using this data which I have created here in our rest of the test classes. So first thing becomes that, okay, let's see whether it actually my this method, this test data factory, is working correct for me or not. Okay, so the way of testing is without going deep into the I mean calling the test data factory into the test class, and then you are getting the error, why your data is not passing, etc, etc. So best thing is check here only. Once you have created the method, okay, it should provide you the data. So put some debug logs here. For example, so if your test data factory is working fine, it should give you the all the accounts which you have tried to create. Okay, so for this, what you will do, just test it here only. Go to the NOS code block, and now you will be understanding why I was the commenting the line number 1. Let's say I want to create 4 account. Okay, so system dot type exception cannot call test methods in non-test context. So this is the reason I was commenting the line number 1, because if I will the because now it is a simple the apex class. Just see, if I have commented the line number 1, okay, so it's a simple apex class. It will be creating the data and it will be storing the data into my S object. But for testing purpose, I mean for testing purpose, whether our data is is creating in a correct way or not. This is fine. Let's test it. So 4 account should be created. Storage limit exceeded. Okay. So let me some create. I mean, let me free some data. My org is full. So putting, just give me 2 minutes. Let me, free my org. Let me delete some data. Okay, so let us see now if the data is free and we can create some data in our, I mean, using the same code. So code is same, no change at all, but I'm just, I just makes the org free from some data. So let's execute again. So I think now the data has been created. Let's see. Let's. I mean, check the whether we have the data in a correct format from our test data factory or not. So as I told you that the right now it's not a test data factory. It's a simple the Apex class, because I have commented the line number 1. If I will uncomment it, it becomes the test data factory. So, and the purpose why I have commented line number 1. I have shown you the error. Correct. So let's see now. So coming at the line number 13, we have the debug log here. Okay, and this will have all the accounts which we have created. So this will be the similar, the data for the data available for all the test classes, or you can say this data will be available for our test classes. So see, the name is test data factory account. Just a minute. Let me, the test data factory account 0. Okay. Then the description and the ID. Okay. Then the test data factory account 1, 2, and the 3. Okay. Because why you have the 3 accounts? Because you have passed the number of account to be created as 4. Okay. Now, so that means our I mean the code which we have written so far, it is working fine. Now we need to test it again and again for everything. Okay. Now let's the simply okay. Let's see. Okay. So one more thing we have is here we want to get the data of lead, and in this we want to get the opportunity. Okay. So we will also create the 2 more object data, and then we will be see that how to use the data which we have created in the test data factory in our test classes and get the code and the code coverage. So now I am creating the lead object data. Okay. So again, the same pattern I am following. I am creating the lead made data, and I am passing the number of lead to be created. But in this method, I am also going to demonstrate you to how to use the try catch. Okay. So first, because I am creating the number of leads more than 1, so I have to store it into any sort of a collection. So I am using the list. Okay, now I will be using try, and inside this try, I will be performing my whole operation. So till now you have seen that the way how we can create the data, and how to check whether we are getting the desired data or not. Okay, because the many times I have seen the when I mean the people do not understand that this test factory is nothing else. It's just a the Apex class. So we have the required field for the lead. And, these are all the required field, because I have worked so many times on these objects, so I know that these are the required fields. And, it does. Now I have to use the data. Okay. So the fax is required. Okay, and this one. Okay. So let me. Okay. Now fax. Just the fax field. No? Fax. Okay. Okay. Now again, we'll add into this list. Okay, where's the problem? Just a minute. Let us see. What sort of the problem it is giving. Okay, integer. Okay, integer. Okay, so see what I have done. I have the given a parameter of the type integer where I will be taking the number of leads to be created, and then to because I know I will be creating more than one lead, so I am storing it in one form, in one of the form of the collection, that is the list. Then the I am creating a loop. So the this loop is, it will start from 0 and will go till it will be equal to the number of leads which I have passed here. So I'm creating the instance here for each new lead and is providing the value. Then the I'm adding into a list will the is use the the upsert and the on this lead, on this list of lead, and then returning the data. Okay, now I will be the using this data for the covering my this particular the apex class. Okay, so how to do this? This I am going to show you now. So right now the code coverage is none. Okay, so we are going to create the test class, but this time we will get the data from our test data factory. Okay, so simple. What next we have to do? We have to create a method. Okay, because I will be getting the more than one list. So to store it, I am creating a list here. Then this I will be using here, and with my test data factory, test data factory dot. I'm calling the method. Okay. Now here I will decide how many lead I want to create. Okay. So for example, let's say 5. So what is happening? I am calling my this particular method from where? From this particular test class, and the data, because I have used the return statement, I will be getting into this particular list. Okay. So till now we have done what? We have just queried our data. Okay. Now what next? Though we are not doing any sort of the DML, but just for the okay. So now we have called our the apex class and its method. So this is my apex class. Now I should get the right result. I mean the right coverage. Okay. So till now what I have done, the test data factory, in this method where I have created the data of a lead. I'm using this data in my test class. How I'm just the querying it. I'm just querying it, and I am storing it into a the list of type lead, and then I'm simply calling my the class and its method to be covered. Okay, now run test. It is pass. Okay, now let's see the coverage. Earlier it was none, now it is 100%. So my one job is complete. I mean, test class for Apex class is complete. Now let's do the trigger and the batch class. So let me close this and let me close this. Okay, simple. Now I will be creating the data for opportunity, and here I have few the custom field as well. Okay, same way, no difference. Because the first step should be the because we are storing the more than one opportunity. So list, then we have the user will supply me the number of the opportunity to be created. So for this we have the this parameter available. Now we will run our loop. Okay, then for every new record of opportunity instance, then what are the required fields we have? Opportunity name, close date, stage. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So name, then we have stage name. Value I need to copy. Let's take qualification. Okay. Then close date. Okay. Then those fields as well we will see, and and right now the coverage is none. What is the pattern? It takes the data. Okay. Okay. Then we will store it, this opportunity, into we have added into our list. Then come out of this loop and return your data. Okay. Saved. Nothing else, no difference we have done for this method as well. Simply we have the taken the parameter of the number of opportunity to be created, and the loop we have run, and we have provided just a data here. Now we will be creating the test class. One method, public static, and you will be simply calling this method. I mean, we will be going to create this this particular method, in which we will be calling our the test data factory method, so that we can get the data whatever we have created. Okay, so calling test data factory is method to get data created in the class. Okay, so how? So for, because we know that we will be getting the more than one the data, so we have to create the list. So let's first call the method, and let's say you need 10 opportunity to be created. Okay, so but where you will store it? So for this I am creating so whatever data I will be creating, I will be storing it into the list. Now I need to call my batch, so that I can cover the batch class. So while the writing the the test class and how to cover the batch class, you need not to do anything special. The way the call the batch class from any other place. Okay, the same way you have to call it uh, from your test class, and it will be covered. Because the many times people ask that we have a three methods, the start, execute and finish. Okay, start, execute and finish. So how to cover it? So simply, there is no other, the is the easiest way, and no other way may other than this. That simply, the call your the pattern of the calling the batch class from any other the class or trigger. Same you have to the do it from your test classes. Okay, so I have the call my I have first created the instance and I'm using the execute batch. Okay, so right now my code coverage for this batch class is none, and because this particular the trigger is on opportunity, so zero coverage we are getting from here. Now both should be covered because in the test, I mean for the trigger, we need not to the do anything. The calling may any special calling or something. It once we they provide the data of the object, it automatically the may covered because trigger understand that something the happened on the object, so it will automatically the may get called and we get the coverage. So let's run it and let's see the okay. So again it is passed and let's see the coverage. 100% it is covered. Okay, so exception except the exception block, every line is covered in the trigger as well. So this is how the I mean the test data factory you can create, and then you can use in your the respective the classes to get the data. So the it becomes very easy. I mean because you are not creating the any uh, the code in the test classes to create data. You're just simply querying it. Okay, just a one line, and the rest you want to whatever the operation you want to do, you can do it made from here. So in case you any problem, you can the comment on the video, and if you require this code, then also they do let me know. I will be sharing you the code. And in case if you have any sort of other problem or any suggestion for the topic, then do let me know. I will be the covering the topic. And do subscribe the channel, please, because this is all about the motivation. uh, I mean, it should be what I believe is that whatever I used to learn, it should be shared with you people, and share the channel, share the the content with other people of your I mean your colleagues, your friend. Take care of yourself, and we'll meet it on the next topic, make most probably on the lightning and the deployment. Thank you so much, and take care of you and your family.